The Go Fast Racing League is on the air. Brought to you live by Brofer Broadcasting Company, the other BBC. This is the Grand National Series, live from Daytona International Speedway. Brand new series brought to you by this channel, and here is the Go Fast Racing League is on the air. Brought to you live by... And Sam Cooper Bennett in the booth with you, joined by my usual broadcast partner and channel partner, usual guy that's always my friend. His name is Tony Trapasso. Tony, how are you doing tonight?
Sam, I cannot be happier to be back in a broadcast booth with you, my friend. It's been entirely way too long since we've been able to do this.
Yeah, very much so. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a new season, new league, new racing, and yeah, even I'm able to broadcast now. A lot of things have changed since we were last in the booth together.
Yeah, it's kind of weird not having to run all the cameras and you know, peripherals for a broadcast. It's kind of fun to be able to just sit back, have a nice tall Steve Weiser in my hand, and off we go.
I know, yeah. It's a really surreal feeling to have, like, to me, be in the driving seat and then having you like as the co-commentator. But yeah, as the season goes along, we can switch places, trade places. You can take the lead. I'll be second in command. But this is a new partnership with this new league. We've spoken to the league owner, Skylar, and yeah, this is a new partnership. This is a new league. This is the Go Faster Racing League, the Grand National Series, and this is the Xfinity cars. Let me throw up the cars on track. Yeah, lots of we've got the Xfinity cars here, just like we did with the previous league we broadcasted with, but a lot of new names. Tony, do you want to give us a rundown of what the league consists of?
Well, as far as I understand things, it's going to be 33 races, and it's basically going to follow the real-life B cars, if you will, if you follow iRacing. As far as I understand, the schedule is supposed to follow the B cars. I just saw somebody try to Kevin LePage the field going into turn number 1. Wow! And just for those of you who are new to iRacing, but you've watched the tin tops, as I commonly refer to them, on a regular basis for years, please don't let Kevin LePage be your spirit animal. And for those of you who don't get the joke, just Google Kevin LePage, and I guarantee you, or just YouTube it, and I guarantee you it'll be one of the first two, if not the first video to come up to understand exactly what I meant by that.
Yeah.
But, so we're looking 33 races, and I'm very excited, Sam.
Yeah.
And you and I have already spoken that there's probably going to be a couple of times this season where there's going to be some guest commentary from our favorite little sister joining us in the booth, and our other brother from another mother is probably going to join us in the booth on occasion on Friday nights here and there. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And speaking of Kevin LePage, the same thing happened to me at the iRacing Daytona 500 the other night. I was running with the lead pack, going for, well, just sitting back, relaxing, running with the lead pack and drafting behind another car, and someone decided to come right out on the track from pit road, and we all just managed to avoid him barely. Yeah, I hate those Kevin LePage moments, and the old, like I said before the broadcast started, Tony, some poo definitely did come out on that occasion.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't get it, it's definitely a first you say it, then you do it kind of moment.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. I'm watching a little pack racing going on there, and somebody just lost the handle on it coming out of 2. But we did receive word that last season's Grand National champion has retired from the series, but one of the things that we have been made aware of is that last season's Truck Series champion has moved up into the Grand National Series, and joining us now,
Todd Gray. Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing, fellas?
Yeah. Talk to us about you won last season's truck championship. You're moving up into the Grand National Series. How is it going for you so far, as far as hot laps and all the testing sessions that you've done?
Feeling pretty good out there. A little different than a truck race last night, which we had some good luck there. Ended up getting a win there, so we're going to try to use some of that. What we learned last night here. It's just the drafting's a lot different, and just basically trying to get around guys on our team and see if we can just be at the right place at the right time.
Well, with the latest physics update that iRacing has thrown at the full-fendered stock cars, what can you tell us as far as the feel of the car from as far as last season to this season with the new tire model, and how's that feeling for you so far?
I'm actually feeling pretty good with it. In a draft, it's really tough. They're not really pulling up on each other. If a guy's a little higher than you in a turn and you just touch him, there's a lot more reactive, which, we just got to be extra careful tonight not to cause a wreck. Keep an eye on our rear view and, make sure we hold that tight line so we don't have that problem.
All right, fair enough. 80 laps. You want to let us in on any pre-race strategy that you're planning, or are you going to keep that one under your hat until it's all said and done?
Yeah, we've been talking Team Metalhead, and we got a little bit of thing put together here, but it all depends on getting to the end of the race, staying out of trouble, and just trying to be there at the end. There's not much more than a 2 or 3 lap plan, so just keep our nose clean, and let's try to make a race for it at the end there.
All right, Todd, we'll let you get back up into your team seat with the rest of the crew. Best of luck to you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you in about an hour and a half, 45 minutes.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, so...
Yeah, that was Todd Cray, our reigning Truck Series champion. Just going to take a quick look at the standings there as practice is about to wind down. Just over 8 minutes to go. At the moment, we've got Brian Littleton leading the way with a 46.235. That's all in the mail in these cars, That's pretty damn fast.
Very much so.
Jeff Schmidt sitting in second, 6/1000th of a second behind him. Austin Marion in third. John Ronaldo fourth. Damon Cox in fifth. Dylan Vose in sixth. Skylar Allen Sr., that's the league owner, he's sitting in seventh. Stephen Parks is sitting in eighth. Mark Nadeau is in...
No relation, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. Mark Nadeau is sitting in ninth. Sean Lejeune is in 10th. That's the top 10 there. Let's go further down the field. Lee Rigney sits 11th. 12th is Michael Trevathan. 13th is the guy we just spoke to, Todd Cray. So he's already trying to make a name for himself in the top 15 in these cars. Brandon Puffenbarger is sitting in 14th. Adam Chapman rounds out the top 15. 16th is Aaron Fowler. 17th is Jeff Wubka. 18th is James Finn. 19th is Rick Mitchell Jr. And sitting in, running out the top 20 is Rick Mitchell. The rest of the runners... Sorry?
Real quick, Sam, you have the overlay over top of the results page.
Do I? Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. 1 second. I'm making the same mistakes as you now. See?
As long as you don't do it during the race, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Same as before. Let's put those up there. No, not that one. That one there. Good. Now, running out the rest of the field. Now we can carry on. Sitting in 21st is Tyler Cox. 22nd is Timothy Giles. David Worrell is 23rd, and Jeremy Rigney is 24th. Last person to take a time. 3 seconds off the pace. That's... I don't think he's having much luck out there. The only people that haven't taken times out there is Brandon Parsons. I'm pretty sure Eric Minch is the race control for tonight. So,
and don't look at me. I'm in the broadcast booth, so don't expect me to take time because I don't even have my wheel plugged in.
Right, I'm still 5 minutes to go in this shindig so far in this practice. What are your expectations for the race tonight, Tony?
Well, I mean, as far as Daytona goes, it's usually a crapshoot because it's a lot of the time you're going to see it's the first time that a lot of these guys have run together, especially in a pack. And like Todd mentioned, with the latest tire model update, with the latest setup update that iRacing has thrown out there, as that was a healthy one. The 15 just headlonged into the turn one wall. That was Adam Chapman that I was watching, anyways. But with the setup changes that iRacing has thrown in there, for years it was the car would be on the tight side, is common vernacular, where the front end doesn't want to turn at speed, where they've gone through and tried to loosen the cars up where it's a little bit freer in the corners, and some drivers like that, some drivers haven't like that. But it definitely takes a little bit of adjusting to get used to what you can get away with a looser race car, especially in traffic when you're 3, 4, 5 deep and just about as many wide.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I mean, iRacing is forever changing its tire model, forever changing everything on the server. I mean, drivers in this on this simulator, it feels to me they're constantly stepping on eggshells, because they feel like they get one thing right and then another thing props up where it just gets everything wrong again. So they're constantly working to get everything shaped up, and it's just one, it kind of heightens the stress levels, and two, it kind of makes people excited because they like tweaking with setups and things like that. But yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's just
well, look at it from this standpoint. If you can be successful on a regular basis in an iRacing fixed setup series, you could probably consider yourself one of the best drivers around, because you're able to constantly adapt to a rules package that's changing as far as what the car package that's changing at a constant one season to the next. And when I say season, every 12 to 13 weeks, the car package is changing, because they've either done a tire model setup, they've done a slight physics setup, a change, they've tweaked on the baseline setups for the fixed setup series, or they've in the case of one of the things I'm actually looking forward to is the rescan that they're coming out with of Pocono, which is supposed to be released sometime next month, which is very exciting, because it should vastly improve the racing at the Tricky Triangle, which it'll be fun to see when these cars make the trip there, how that turns out for everybody.
And not only that, I mean, Pocono is a really exciting one. I've got it under good judgment that they're bringing it out on the next build, and not just that is coming out. They're bringing out the brand new Chevy Camaro, which is the new car in the real life NASCAR series. So I'm looking forward to that one. That's another good one that's coming out.
It is, and there's some people that like the new Camaro, some people don't like the new Camaro. I'll be a happy camper if the template matches up to the Camaro that we have in this series. That'll make your job and my job a lot easier, considering that we paint for our friends on our racing team that we have in other series. But that'll make our job a whole lot easier if the templates interchange with each other. But there's that's coming out. If you're a dirt fan, there's so much new content coming out. As far as the tracks that they're getting ready to release. I'm actually excited for what will probably be iRacing's Christmas present to the dirt freaks like myself, with
the chili bowl.
Chili bowl.
Yeah, the chili bowl. Yeah,
it's like my favorite meme that I post every January on my Facebook page is a grandmother-esque type lady sitting at her computer, raising her glasses, squinting at the screen with a caption that says, "Chili bowl, those look like race cars to me."
Yeah, I mean, the most amazing thing about the Chili Bowl, as we're just over with 40 seconds to qualifying, is that they race indoors in a temporary setting. That's the most amazing thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, viewers, this is a British guy getting excited about American racing. I love American racing. This is why I'm doing this broadcast. So yeah.
Let me point this out to you too. Yeah. Not only is it indoors on a dirt track, that dirt track is no larger than a hockey rink.
Yeah, and that's the most amazing thing. They can fit a dirt track that size in such a small space and get the most exciting racing out of it, and that really gets my excitement going. And yeah, I get really excited about things like that.
So does that mean that my brother from another mother from another country is going to actually pop his dirt cherry and get the midget?
Maybe. David Worrell, thank you for the new subscription. Hope you're enjoying the stream as we're about to go to qualifying now.
Rock and load, here we go.
Yeah, nobody out on track. Well, actually, we're focused on. Let's focus on the 14. I've just seen him go out on track. Where is he? Tyler Cox.
Tyler Cox, we're defeating the Truck Series champion. Going to be one of the first to roll out here, getting the vehicle up to speed now.
You're thinking of Todd Cray is the truck champion.
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
Let's focus on him right now. He's in the 21. He's just made his way out on track. Yeah.
So don't expect times to start popping up on your screen as far as qualifying goes for at least a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, because you figure you're talking a 46-second lap in traffic. Expect the qualifying times to be somewhere around, I'd say, high 48s, low 49s should be, within reason.
Yeah, and let's not forget that this is single car qualifying as well, so they don't have any draft partners going around the track, so their times are going to be considerably slower, but they're going to be trying everything they can to be faster anyway. So
usually between 1.5 seconds and 2 seconds, depending on if they're allowed to play with the tape. Being as it's only 2 laps, it shouldn't make that much of a difference. Now the question is, who's going to play the quick setup qualifying game and try to burn as much fuel off on pit road as they can before they go out and take their flyer? Yeah,
as we're still focused on Todd Cray, I've got the timer up on the scoreboard, up on the screen there. Currently at 33 seconds, going through turns 3 and 4. Let's see what time he can put down in that number 21 Chevrolet. Very conservative so far, sticking to the outside. That's what people tend to do on their first flying lap. They stick to the outside and just run it at the bottom on the second flying lap. A 50.898 for his first flying lap.
That's actually respectable.
Yeah, currently we've got Skylar Allen as the fastest. It's focusing on him. He's stopped now, so he's only decided to run 1 lap. Rick Mitchell now taking the fastest time in that McDonald's Ford Mustang.
Well, the thing is, Sam, for those who've never seen a restrictor plate race, which Daytona, Talladega, those are restrictor plate tracks, and what they do is they really choke down the engine. You really have to work on getting the momentum up, and you're never going to see the vehicle at full speed until at least 3/4 of the way through lap 1. You might be at full song by then. Even you figure you've got your out lap, then you start your flyers. You're still not at full speed when you take the green. Yeah. It's going to take another 3/4 of a lap before that vehicle is completely wound out and she's got no more left. And apparently the latest physics update is playing around with my math, because I would have expected some slightly quicker times, unless these guys are running race loads in the tank, which I keep forgetting that with a fixed setup series. That would explain why there's over a 4-second gap between practice and qualifying times.
Yeah, and looking at the standings right now, let's bring the results up on the screen there. Austin Marion taking the provisional pole right there. Mark Nadeau is in second place, 1/1000th of a second behind him in second. Tyler Cox sitting third on the second row. Jeff Schmidt in third place, 13/1000th of a second back. Stephen Parks, no name relation, as you already said, is in 5th place. James Finn in 6th, 7th is Aaron Fowler. 8th is Michael Trevathan. 9th is Tim Giles. And 10th is the guy we were just watching, Todd Gray. Oh no, Jeff Wobka now jumps into 10th place. So he's stolen away the top 10 start from Todd Gray.
Well, Sam, I'm looking at the splits just between the different drivers. You've got 1/1000th between first and second. Then your 7,000ths to third place.
Yeah.
5,000 between third and fourth. 6,000s between, 8,000s between fourth and fifth. And then you've got a little bit of a gap with 14,000s to sixth.
Yeah.
Then 2,000, a little bit of a gap, and then from 8th place to 10th place is 3/1000ths of a second.
Wow, that's
so there's gonna be some tight racing all throughout the field. Now, granted, there's definitely a difference between some of the haves and some of the have-nots, but expect there to be some really tight racing between a good majority of this field.
Yeah, most definitely. As we watch the cars gridding up on the pit road, 80 laps the scheduled distance for this race. It's going to be a good one, I think. Everybody seems to be running very closely, especially the top 5. I mean, 1/1000th of a second between first and second. This is going to be an exciting showdown, Tony. I'm not sure how you feel about that. I'm
just excited to be able to be back in the broadcast booth with a friend of mine that I've known for, what are we,
nearly
4 years now?
Nearly 3 years.
Yeah. And to think that it all started with a Canadian and an open wheel series at Talladega.
Yeah. Shout out to Maverick if he's watching. Yeah, we miss him. We miss him being out on track, but yeah, he's doing his own thing right now.
He's busy driving a tow truck, so
yeah. But Maverick, if we can convince you to come back, then please do, man. We do miss you.
At least get you in the broadcast booth, bud.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
He's got the voice for it. I'd know that much.
He's got the face for radio too.
Shots fired already.
Of course, that's like the pot and the kettle going. What'd you say?
Pot calling the kettle black.
I got a perfect face for radio too, so don't get that twisted, folks.
I'm British, so I've naturally got a face for radio. So yeah, it's one of those things. As we see the cars lined up on the pit road there, I've got it on a pit exit cam. It's one hell of a view I'm seeing right here.
Yeah, that's definitely a beautiful sight to see that many cars out on track.
As they roll off.
And here we go. Lock and load, kids.
Okay, lights are off on the pace car. This is going to be an exciting race as they make their way for the 1-2 complex. Don't get it wrong, Austin Marion is the 65, but it doesn't look like he's got any numbers on his car. I think he's got them completely blacked out.
It's either that or there's a trading paints glitch that apparently or occasionally will pop up where
now let's get the ticker up on the screen before I forget. There we go. So my timing and scoring is a bit messed up because it's a new IRTVO setup, but Austin Marion is definitely on the pole.
Yeah, we're learning a new program here, folks. So bear with us here. It's already shut down twice for me, and I think it's the settings on my end. So just bear with us here. We'll get this all sorted out before all said and done here.
This is the first of many broadcasts, so we'll get it right eventually. As they make their way through turn 4, coming onto the tri-oval, waiting for the pace car to peel off. And we're about to get ourselves going here. 80
Lock
laps.
and load, it's race time.
80 laps at Daytona, ready to go. This is the Go Fast Racing League. Holding them down, and away they go. 80 laps at Daytona International Speedway, and we're underway. Austin Marion getting off to a good start. Nadeau is very slow on the outside, the whole outside line, not getting away, and that leads to 14 up into second place.
Well, here's the thing: is Tyler Cox almost turned Austin Marion because Marion apparently wasn't expecting the pace car to go in. Or the green flag come out as quickly as it did. I'm thinking he doesn't have a lot of experience at Daytona, where as soon as the pace car clears the yellow line, you're live. It's that simple.
Yeah, we got the number one. Sorry, Tony. We got the number one trying to make a look on the outside now. They're currently 2 by 2 as we finish the first lap of the race. Austin Marion in first, Jeff Schmidt second, Steve Parks third, Brandon Puffenbarger in fourth, Brian Littleton up to fifth, John Ronaldo sixth, Brandon Parsons seventh, Stephen Lejeune is up there too, Damien Cox is up there. I've got it all wrong now, it's wrong. That's my time and scoring. I'll go through that again. Austin Marion first, Tyler Cox second, Stephen Park third, Mark Nadeau is in fourth, Aaron Fowler fifth, Michael Javarthan sixth, seventh is Jeff Schmidt, eighth, ninth and 10th is James Finn, Tim Giles and Todd Craig. Todd Craig getting back up into the top 10 after missing out on that pivotal starting spot, Tony.
Well, bear with me here because I'm bringing up old school and there we go. So Marion, Cox, Parks, Fowler, Nadeau, Trevarthen, Schmidt, Finn, Cray, and Giles, your top 10. Currently working lap 3 of 80. And it's good to see that these guys are giving each other room and giving it a lot of respect this early in an 80-lap event.
Oh, most definitely. And as we see, the number one of Stephen Parks got a nose in front on the outside, but lost a bit of momentum there. Coming through the 3-4 complex. There's still 2 by 2 going through the tri-oval now. That's the top 4 rows, or 5 rows, isn't it? There's got 4 cars on the outside. But Austin Marion holding on, still holding on.
Austin Marion getting it done the short way around, and it's going to be real difficult for anybody in that outside line to get by him without a lot of help. They're going to need to really be on the bumper. As we see the 9 going to the inside, looks like connection issues for the 9.
That's Aaron Fowler, yeah.
Aaron Fowler disconnecting from the server, so something to keep an eye on there. See if he can be able to make it back. He knew he was in trouble, just dropped to the inside and poof, gone. But and there you go, Parks with the help of Nadeau, which is weird to be able to be using those 2 last names in an iRacing race and have it not be who we think it is. But Parks and Nadeau, 2 names that are synonymous with this real life series back from about 10, almost 15 years ago now. As
they're coming up on lap traffic, yeah,
up in front of them.
I believe that's Sean Lejeune.
This could get interesting very quickly.
Yeah, and Jeremy Rigney going through issues as well. He looks like he's disconnected. David Worrell as well. We've got some connection issues aplenty tonight. Something's not right with the server for some reason. David Worrell's...
I'm not sure if it's the server or if it's client side.
Yeah.
Because it is that time of the month where things go haywire.
We've already got 2 cars behind the wall. No, 3 cars behind the wall. We've got Aaron Fowler, Brandon Puffenbarger, and Lee Rigney all behind the wall now. So
I've got Puffenbarger on the track. So Puffenbarger is.
Oh yeah. For some reason, my timing and scoring is not updating as it should. For some reason, but yeah, there we are with Sean Lejeune as he's just been lapped.
Yeah, Fowler and Parsons are the only 2. Parsons did not take the green, and Fowler disconnected. So everybody else still, alive and well so far. as we're currently working lap 7 of 80. Austin Marion still showing the way. Tyler Cox right on his back bumper as Parks and Nadu have jumped down to the inside line, gotten in line with everybody else, and currently James Finn in the 60 is hung out to dry on that outside line right now.
Yeah, everybody trying to jump into single file racing right now as we got a wreck. Oh my goodness me, going through turns 3 and 4, and the caution is out. Our first caution of the night on lap 7, going into lap 8. Let's go back and watch that. I couldn't see who was involved. Did you see that at all?
Rigney was in it. Let me see what. See if I can see anything here. So Rigney got involved, but I'm thinking he was one of the, fifth man in a hockey fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of smoke in front of him. It looks like.
And for some reason it won't let me. Looks like Stephen Parks. No,
it wasn't Parks.
No. Yeah, but our first wreck already.
Walker was involved in that one. Yeah, the 63 and the 09. Go ahead and take a look at those two, Sam. As you'll see, it looks like the 63 may have caught the apron.
Yeah. Just trying to go back and look at it, folks. I do apologize for the...
No, just the 96 turned the 09. That's exactly what happened.
Okay. Let's go back.
Yeah, the 96, Skylar Allen turned the 09 just... It was one of those, they were bump drafting, and he touched him wrong, and that was something that Todd mentioned to us before the race started, that what you could get away with last season with the physics in the cars at that time, if you do it this season, stuff like that happens.
Yeah, we're watching the 96 of Skylar Allen now, making his way through turns 3 and 4, gets on the back of the 09, accidentally hooks him, takes the 63 with him. Oh, that's a pretty big wreck there for Skylar Allen. That's taken a few good cars with him.
Yeah, here's the thing. I mean, that could have been a lot worse than it was. And kudos to everybody that was behind that was able to get through it. And joining us now is Skylar. And we were just talking, Skylar, that was something that Todd had mentioned to us in the pre-race, that, bump drafting that you could get away with, a little bit off-kilter last season, it's deadly this season.
Yeah, that was definitely killer. Feel bad for the 09. I definitely didn't intend to get him there. I feel bad for anybody else who got involved. I'm not sure. I hadn't really tested that in practice, and now I know it's not going to work. So I'll be moving to the back. We'll see if we can race it back up to the front.
Well, let me ask you this, because this is something that we haven't asked yet. What's the fast repair situation in this league?
0.
Oh,
yeah, we try to keep it pretty realistic. So
well then,
it's basically fix it and come back out if you can. I got 7 seconds. I think I'll be fine. Unfortunately, it looked like the 09 had some pretty hard impacts with the outside wall.
And the 63 caught a good chunk in the passenger side rear. So he's probably going to be pit farming that car for a little while. But yeah, that was something we were kind of waiting to see what was going to happen. But you guys, you had a good run going there, and other than that, how was the car feeling?
Yeah, I was just trying to get the 09 up to that. Trying to get the 09 up to the front where that there was a car on the outside, and I was trying to get us up there and see what we could do. So unfortunately, it didn't work out. So.
Well, fair enough, Skylar. Still plenty of racing left. Currently working lap 10 of 80, but plenty of racing left, and best of luck to you in the rest of the event.
All right, man. Thanks.
Yep.
So that was league owner Skylar Allen, one of the creators of the incident.
And one of the admins in the league that he immediately manned up. So that's the the type of stand-up people that are running in the Go Fast, that manage the Go Fast League is, they're not afraid to admit when they were wrong, and good on you, Skyler, for that.
Yeah, most definitely. As there was a slight sound of dejection in there because of what happened, but it's all part of racing, unfortunately. I mean, luckily it's the first race of the season, so he'll have plenty of chances to recover from this setback and get back up there as the season progresses.
Absolutely, but and I'm thinking that most of the dejection that took place was more of, I can't believe I did something that boneheaded this early. And like you said, he was trying to get the 09 up into where he was able to help with the outside line, as the lights do go out on the pace car. Austin Marion, James Finn, Michael Trevarthen, Jeff Schmidt, Todd Cray, Rich Mitchell Jr., Steve Parks, Tyler Cox, Timothy Giles, and Mark Nadu rounding out your top 10. And I would like to point out that your top 6 did not hit.
Yeah, I just noticed that, and that's a very interesting strategy. I mean, tyre wear shouldn't really be a big issue around here, but the guys behind them are definitely going to be on fresher tyres, and I wonder if that could play into their favour later in the race. But yeah,
well, here's the other thing: we're only looking about 20 laps on fuel.
Yeah.
So everybody that did pit was able to top off. So if this stays green for an extended period, those first 6 are sitting ducks.
Yeah, pretty much. And remember, this is just an 80 lap race as well, so pit stops could be very few and far between. And if they don't get a caution and it does stay green, then they could be in serious trouble right here. As we're about to go green again, the pace car is going through 3 and 4. As Tony alluded to, the lights are off. Austin Marion is our leader. James Finn is on the front row with him. Let's see what happens now as we wait for the pace car to leave the track. There he goes. He's holding them.
Green flag's out.
And away they go. As
and that's how quick it happens. The pace car, as soon as it clears the yellow line, you heard it, folks. The green flag started yelling. We're back live.
Yeah, and Finn just did not get going on the outside, and that's let Trevarthen in on the inside, and he's going to take that position away. If Finn does not get any help on that outside, he's going to be like a sitting duck, and he's going to get freight trained on that outside.
Well, he was a sitting duck when the caution came out, too, so it's basically picking up where you left off when the caution came out. Is the 31 of Trevarthen just pushing the daylights out of Austin Marion right now on that low line. As we got 3 cars starting to get lined up here on the high side with that's the 21 of defending Truck Series champion Todd Cray.
Yeah, he's on the inside. It's actually the 87 of Rick Mitchell Jr. that's on the outside helping the 60. Trevarthen making a small look on the outside. I don't think he's got the room to jump up that soon. The 14 is with him as well. That will be Tyler Cox on the outside helping Finn. But Finn is still falling backwards. I don't think he's got enough support. He needs at least 1 or 2 more drivers to jump up there with him.
Close enough to really do anything, because all he's doing is punching a hole in the air. It's going to be another lap before Mitchell and Cox can get to.
Yeah, most definitely. As Austin Marion, Michael Trevarthen, Jeff Schmidt, Todd Cray, James Finn, Stephen Parks, Rick Mitchell Jr., Tyler Cox, Mark Nadeau, and Dylan Vose round out your top 10. Throw a blanket over that top 10 because they are that close. I mean, it's Daytona.
We saw Schmidt and Cray jump up to that high line. It's Schmidt with a nose out front as they work their way through the 1-2 complex now.
And that might be the perfect strategy, especially if it's for James Finn, who wants to get to that front, because he's now got a whole ton of support with Cray and Schmidt in front of him. But Schmidt wants to lead more, and he's pulling up alongside Austin Marion. Marion could be in a bit of trouble if any more cars jump up there, which they are. There are 3 more behind him.
Marion with a nose back out front as they complete lap 14, now working lap 15 of 80. Marion leading that lap. Schmidt still hanging tough on the high side. Got help from his teammate Todd Cray. Todd Cray on the high side.
More cars joining that outside line. More people jumping up. The 14 is back up there now, so a very even.
That almost ended poorly.
Oh, there's no room for the 88. Oh, that would be Brandon Puffenberger, but he keeps it going. Lacking speed now, lost all that momentum, and is free wide back there now with the rest of the field. He's going to fall back like a stone. Meanwhile, back at the front, still side by side as they go through the tri-oval. And another huge wreck. That's the 11 involved. Jeremy Rigney
going airborne.
So we're back and look at that for 30. Well, we'll go back 30 seconds and have a look at that. Jeremy Rigney involved again, I believe. He was involved in the last one, if I remember rightly.
Well, it looked like the 11 caught the apron going through the tri-oval and got into the 5 and just... It was chain reaction from that point. You're going way too fast, way too close to be able to even think of trying to avoid things. And
as we saw him there, trading paint with the 5, and the 5 actually turned him. He came across the 5's nose, and that's it. That's what caused the melee. The 96 involved, the 88 involved. The 88 has just been for the wards tonight.
And the problem is you're trying to side draft when you're that far back, because if you can get some side draft, it'll help both cars. Yeah. And unfortunately, if you are side drafting through the tri-oval and somebody makes an oops, you're both dead. And that's what we just saw there. Was the 11 got hooked by the 5, and the 5 went on Mr. Toads and luckily glitched back onto its wheels.
So the cars involved with that were actually John Ronaldo, Sean Lejeune, Timothy Giles, Jeremy Rigney, as we already saw. Lee Rigney was caught a small piece of that. Brandon Puffenberger looks like he got most of that, and
and Puffenberger has disconnected from the server.
So really bad luck for
the 55 just hand grenaded an engine going onto pit road.
The 55?
That the number 5. Giles.
Timothy
just
Giles
hand grenaded the engine. So
that's going to be his race, I'm afraid.
Probably going to put that car behind the wall now.
As we have now only 17 cars on the lead lap, because I'm pretty sure Sean Lejeune isn't. No, he's still out on track, so that makes it 18 cars on the lead lap. Lee Rigney is the other car running right now. He is sitting back in 19th place in lap down.
A little bit of pit strategy starting to play out, Sam, as Parks and Nadu, the only 2 to stay out that are on the lead lap.
Yeah, and if you remember rightly, though, they did pit on the last caution, so they might have a bit of... They might have used that strategy from the last pit stop to get themselves to the front, so they might be in good stead here. As the rest of the field pits behind them, Tyler Cox winning the race off pit road, amazingly, because he was way behind the others. Austin Marion, next one in line, followed by Jeff Schmidt, Michael Javarthan, Todd Cray is there as well. There's Dylan Vose in the 19. David Worrell coming out of pit road in the 45. Brian Littleton rounding out your top 10 in the number 80.
And I'd like to point out that Tyler Cox only taking 2 tires. A 5.2 second stop as opposed to, looks like, as far as the 4 tire stops go, Austin Marion with a 12.6.
I wondered if he didn't take fuel either then, because that's a very quick stop for just 2 tires.
No, that's 2 tires in a can.
Yeah.
2 right sides in a can is 5.2.
Yeah. As we now see Stephen Parks now at the front in the number 1. Martinado, he's been running very close at the front for the most part of the race. He's up there too. Tyler Cox will be starting on the 2nd row as we see, I believe that's Lee Rigney coming into pit road. Yeah, that's the 84 coming down pit road again, so he's going to be 2 laps down now. Yeah,
well, he's pit farming that car.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Because that car, he caught a piece of both incidences, so he's definitely pit farming that car to try to get as much repaired as he can. And you know, we're still at least 2 to green, so he's got plenty of time.
Oh, most definitely, but he's going to be seriously on the back foot now, though, as I believe it may have. He's definitely stayed in pits a bit longer, so I'm definitely guessing he's going to be getting a lot of damage repaired there, as he's up to over 25 seconds in pit road now.
Well, the field's only in turn 3, so what he's going to do is he's going to stay in pit until, you know, the pace car gets in between turns 3 and 4, and then look for him to drop the jack and beat the pace car out of pits, and come back around and possibly do it again, provided the lights don't go out on the pace car when they get to the start-finish line.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing, the 09 and the 63, they were both caught up in that first caution. They are both running still near the top 10, still on the lead lap and under full speed, so whatever damage they got, they must have fixed very quickly, because they are still in this race, amazingly.
Well, they were pit farming under the last caution.
Yeah.
Immediately, both cars went down pit road to, you know, to try to get as much damage start to get fixed as possible. Pit farm, and pit farm, so that, you know, they can try to, like I said, just get as much damage fixed as possible.
Actually, speaking of which, the 63 is actually 63
currently sitting in 13th. As the 84 is back out, up to speed, trying to catch the tail end of the field right now. Doesn't look like, yeah, it looks like he got a little bit of damage fixed. Currently hauling off, coming out of turn 4 at 776 miles an hour. So lights are out on the pace cars. The field starts to form up 2 by 2. Stephen Parks, Mark Maydew, Tyler Cox, Austin Marion, Jeff Schmidt, Mike Trevarthen, Todd Cray, Dylan Voss, Brian Littleton, and David Worrell rounding out your top 10. As we are currently working lap 20, we'll get the green with 60 to go.
Sorry for going quiet there. I was just dealing with a something on the live chat. But to the people on the live chat, welcome to the race stream. Gene MCS, Eric M, and whoever else is here, just welcome to the chat as we are going through the 3-4 complex. Lights are off on the pace car. Pace car is about to go off. Steve Parks is in control. He picked the outside line, which is interesting, and he's away straight away, and he gets off to a clean start. The 40 very, very slow off as we went green. The 14 files in right behind him. They go immediately single file for the most part. And the one has got a pretty clear gap in front, Tony.
Very much so. I'm actually trying to see what you played with in the chat there.
There was a troublemaker. I removed them.
Ah, fair enough. We'll have to talk later.
I will.
But, yeah, looks like we got a little bit of 3-car breakaway going on right now as Parks, Maydew, and Cox starting to work together as, wow, Tyler Cox making a big move to jump down in front of Austin Marion.
Yeah, most definitely. As I'm just trying to sort my thing out. There's a bit of a...
No. That's not legal on TV, Sam.
Yeah, I know.
But, yeah, the top 3 right now is starting to get a little bit of a gap on Austin Marion right now. Looks like Marion, the car was great when it had clean air. Now that he's mired in a little bit of traffic, not quite sure how to handle it, able to suck back up down the straightaway.
Okay, you have my undivided attention now. Yeah, the number 1 holding on to the bottom, but yeah. Yeah, as you said, Austin Marion is really struggling now he's in the pack. He's got back down to 4th place after that pit stop, and yeah, Tyler Cox, Martin Nadeau and Stephen Parks really holding it tight down on that bottom lane. As again, we've got James Finn stuck on the outside all on his own again.
I'm thinking Finn is trying to lay down some rubber in that second lane so that when and if he's going to need it later on in the race, it's going to be there for him. Well, let me take a look here, see if I can see. Is he? Yes, he is. Finn is in the TeamSpeak channel. So when and if we get another caution, we're going to have to pick his brain and see if he's just trying to lay some rubber down on the top side for later on.
Absolutely, as they are now 2 by 2 again going for the tri-oval, and give that one to Stephen Parks, but Tyler Cox is in 2nd place now. Martin Nadeau has dropped to 3rd after going on the outside with Stephen Parks. Austin Marion there on the inside, but like you said before, he's struggling down there now. He hasn't got any clear air in front of him.
2 1,000ths of a second to Steve Parks at the line. That's 3 coats of paint, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's close.
That's all that is. That's 3 coats of paint between the 2 cars.
Most definitely. Oh, James Finn getting a bit squirrely there going through the corner, but he manages to collect it very easily. Very calm and collective at the back. They're very patient at the back, but I suppose they're just running their lines and making sure they get through the wrecks. But as we look at the front, Stephen Parks still
that lap to Parks too.
Yeah, he's getting he's actually got a car length in front of Tyler Cox, who's now got his nose in front. Got a huge push off Austin Marion going up onto the backstretch, and now it looks like the outside line is starting to struggle with only 3 cars up there.
Well, there's only 3 cars up there, but look for the 1 and the 40 to stay glued to each other's bumpers. And I think they're practicing timing their runs to know when they need to push and how they need to do this. Like you've mentioned a couple of times. And
Tyler Cox gets that one. Oh no, Stephen Parks.
5 1,000ths of a second to Tyler Cox.
Yeah. Wow, this is an amazing race.
This is some very good racing, but like you said, this is only the first race of a 33 race season, and these guys are they're duking it out. They're racing hard, but they're still showing respect to those around them, and that's something, especially as a broadcaster, that's up here in the booth, and I know our fans at home are very appreciative of this, is that they're racing hard, but they're racing clean.
Yeah, that's the most respectable part of any stock car racing on ovals. If you're going to race clean, because at the end of the day, we're 28 laps into a race now, and 27 laps into a race, and it's people know on this track, they know by the way they're racing and what we're seeing here, it's too early. It's nowhere near go time yet. The best thing to do is just sit back, relax, enjoy the view, and then when it gets to 10 to go, that's the time to go, and you start racing hard.
Absolutely, and that was 5,000ths of a second to Parks as he jumps down in front of Tyler Cox, going into 1. Now they're going through 3 and 4. Cox now pushing Parks. These guys are putting on a show right now. This is a clinic on how to drive the B car in iRacing.
Oh, most definitely. And Tony, guess what? I've got a crank it up camera on my camera pack. Shall we do some crank it up for a bit?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to piss off your neighbors.
There we go. Let's crank it up.
Marion, Trevathan, Schmidt, Voss, and Cray, and Chapman, your top 10 right now. Currently working lap 29 of 80.
It looks like everybody seems to be choosing that inside line again, except for the 60 and the 40. Actually, the 60 actually making its way down to the bottom line for a change, which is oh no, getting some draft. He's back up there again. He didn't take that long. But
that's exactly what he was doing. He was trying to suck up behind the 14 to try to get a little bit of a pull.
Everybody's starting to get spread out now. That's a very good sign that we could have a nice long green flag run on our hands. Forming into 2 packs apart from... Who's that behind?
It's Rick Mitchell to Skylar Allen. You're looking at 9 seconds.
Yeah, we've got the 15 that's fallen away from the lead pack. He's like the meat in a 2-pack sandwich. He's got...
Well, the 15 and the 80. Chapman and Livingston from 10th and 11th are starting to get reeled in by David Worrell in the 45.
Yeah, it looks like they're slowly starting to split into 2 packs, though. That's going to make things a bit interesting. We've got 2 nice little clean packs to keep an eye on. I'm currently watching Brian Littleton in the 80. He's slowly chasing down Adam Chapman, who's in the 15 in that gold and black TRN car. Or is it TRN? I can't really see.
I know.
Yep, TRN. I was right. Yeah, he's fallen back from the lead pack, which is all 2x2 again, with Tyler Cox on the outside. Oh, and he's around. 14 is around, and that's the big one, ladies and gentlemen. That is the big one.
A lot of front-running cars involved in that one as the 31 goes onto its groove. Good grief.
Now let's get an instant replay of that, going back 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, so we can get enough of a look of the race before it goes on. There's the 14 in front of Austin Marion in the 60.
It looked like the 14, if you watch him coming down the back straightaway, the 14 was in the high line. It tried to jump down to the low line, thought it had the clear, and it had it and then lost it by the time it got there.
Yeah, and he just basically, the one had nowhere to go when he came down. I think the 14 kind of needs to fire his spotter, because he just blatantly came down the track and just completely cut the one's nose off.
Well, here's the thing. If you look as they go into 3, he has the clear, and then as he comes down, the one started to come back. And it has to do with the whole physics thing, and, you know, the shortest distance between 2 points is, or the quickest way to get between 2 points is the shortest distance.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, the one had the preferred line, and by the time the 14 was able to get told that he had the clear, it was too late.
Now, as we reset things, we're back under caution again. Everybody taking it down pit road again. Austin Marion and Martin Nadeau in first and second, both carrying considerable rear end damage. So I wonder if that could hamper their race slightly. James Finn.
That's going to hamper a lot of... That's going to really shake up the running order now. When you figure you had Marion, who's led laps, Nadeau, who's led laps, Rick Mitchell staying out, and Junior and Senior both staying out. So the Mitchell boys trying something a little bit different.
Yeah. The 63, well, Rick Mitchell is just taking over the number 1 spot. I'm thinking they've just come in now. They've both gone white on my time and scoring. Watching Austin Marion is definitely repairing some damage, because he's been in pit road at over 40 seconds now, so definitely
a lot of cars spending a lot of time on pit road. As the pace car is now getting into turn number 3, who do we want to talk to? Do we want to bring Steve Parks in?
Let's have a look. Actually, you know what? Let's bring on the guy that you were going to talk to. Was it
James Finn in the 60?
James Finn in the 60, yeah.
James Finn, Tony up in the broadcast booth. Do you have me, sir?
Yes, sir.
So we were kind of wondering before the whole melee happened. We saw you in the 40 trying to get that outside line to work. Were you trying to just lay rubber down to be able to use that line later in the race, or are you just more comfortable being in that outside line?
Yeah, I found out real early on that the outside was just super fast. I could do better out there. I wanted to stay out there.
So, settle a bet between Sam and I as we were kind of typing off air. Did some poo come out when that happened in front of you?
Oh, yeah.
But,
yeah, that was a very interesting incident. It looks like you're making that outside line work, though, because you seem to be getting through the incidents pretty well. And now you find yourself up into second place. Do you reckon you can go on to win it from here, or are you just biding your time until it's like 10 to go or something like that?
Oh, man, I have no idea. The strategy is to run the outside. That's where it's fastest, I think.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. We'll let you get back up there to the TeamSpeak channel. Best of luck to you, sir, and hopefully we'll be talking to you in about 40 laps.
Yeah, same here. Thanks.
All right, so he's under the impression that the outside line is where you're going to want to be when it's time to put him up on the dash, Sam.
Oh, most definitely. As we're actually riding on in cockpit of James Finn. Doesn't look like he's got too much damage. I know he's got some front end damage, but no significant damage.
Just some bump draft damage. I mean, it's not like he didn't get a big piece of what just took place. So yeah. I'm thinking he's going to be in the catbird seat because the 15 looks like he's backed into a telephone pole. The 40 looks like he's backed into a telephone pole, and the 9 looks like he's backed into a telephone pole. Whereas, as far as the cars in the top 10 that I can see, the 60's clean.
Yeah, that's true. Adam Chapman, though, what are you saying?
The outside line. Lights go out on the pace car, and Chapman, the pole sitter for this restart, is taking the outside line for the restart.
Speaking of Adam Chapman, I think him falling back from that lead pack actually worked in his favour, because obviously he's in the lead now. So watch for him to try and make a move as he's now at the front. Yeah, picking the outside line. He's actually forcing the 60 down on the low line now. So let's see how James Finn can work on that inside line as we make our way onto the backstretch.
Well, here's the thing, though. It actually has worked in James's favor, because if you look behind him, he's got Mark Nadeau.
Yeah.
And he and Mark were making that outside line work.
Yeah.
So those two getting hooked up on the inside line, I think the rest of the field is in trouble at this point.
Oh yeah, most definitely. As they've been pretty much biding their time. I've noticed the 09 of Jeff Wubka is up there as well. What a recovery drive he's had after that horrible incident on the early runnings of the race.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, it looks like the back of that car is, backed into a telephone pole. But then again, so does the 80 of Brian Littleton. As the field working its way out of the turn 4 complex, pace car getting ready to duck on off. Pull those belts tight, boys. It's go time again.
Pace car's off and they're about to get going. He's holding them down and away they go as we are starting lap 47 of 80 at Daytona International Speedway. Chapman is holding on to the outside line, but Finn and Nadeau making their way to the front now, and that's going to give Finn the lead as we go through the 1-2 complex, Tony.
Oh, Katie, bar the door. Here comes Finn and Nadeau. Like I said, they were making that outside line work. Now they've got clean air. Now they've got the preferred line. Watch for those two to start to gap the rest of the field. Sean Lejeune doing what he can to try to hang with them on the low side.
Yeah, and Adam Chapman, after starting on that outside line, has dropped like a stone and is now down in 6th place. He's got Jeff Webb coming behind him for company. The 61 of Jeff Schmidt now caught on the outside with only 2 cars behind him, and One of them's just dropped on the inside. I couldn't see who that quite was, but yeah, Jeff Schmidt caught on the outside.
09.
Yeah,
That was Wubker.
yeah, Wubka's down there as well. But sorry,
And 15 makes it 3 wide for a second there. Schmidt having to take evasive action and not get killed, and that whole melee has let Finn, Nadeau, and Lejeune start to pull away.
yeah, the lack of damage on their cars is actually working in their favour now. As Lejeune, he was having he had a terrible start, and he was dropped right back, and I think he even lost a lap at one point. But now he's up to 3rd place, and he's actually running strong with the 60 and the 40, and yeah, this could actually pay off for him in the end.
Well, he's trying to, but he is falling back. He's just not able to hang with Finn and Nadeau right now, as those two are really putting on a drafting clinic for the rest of the field, as they're over a tenth to the good.
Yeah, they're doing exceptionally well and making that early outside running work in their favour.
Here it comes back on the high side. Schmidt with a nose out front as they go into turn number 3. He's got a lot of help from Chapman.
Yeah, Schmidt's got a considerable front end damage though, so he's probably getting one of the best pushes of his life from a very clean car in that number 15. Adam Chapman now and Schmidt both falling back as the inside line now gets more momentum, and Finn moves back to the front with Nadeau right behind him, and Lejeune there as well. Oh, and
there goes the 40.
Oh no! Oh, and he collects somebody. Let's go back and have a look at that.
The 46 just Kyle Busch into the inside wall.
And the 63 of Rick Mitchell involved in that as well, so he's been through the wars again.
It looks like the 40 caught the apron, lifted, and that just ended poorly.
Yeah, let's go back and have a look at that. That was a very, very inconspicuous moment there as they go through the 3-4 complex. Expect to see it very soon. The top 3 on the bottom line are running close together. He hits the apron, and yeah,
he lifted, and
Lejeune helped him round.
Well, Lejeune had nowhere to go because it was one of those. He was already on his back bumper, and when Schmidt came down, it was a bad situation waiting to happen at that point. And I'm watching Nadeau's car right now, and that thing is definitely doing the Alaskan King crab as it goes down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I think that might be the end of his night then if it's doing it that badly. Some severe suspension damage on that car after that incident, so that's going to take him some time.
We knocked the toe out of it, boss.
Pretty much, yeah. As who else was hit? Was that the 47?
Rick Mitchell in the 63 just had nowhere to go and just ate the driver's side door of Mark Nadeau's car.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the 47 of Damon Cox. He's got a smoking car as well. He hit.
He was lucky to not Kyle Busch that inside Armco.
Oh yeah, most definitely. As Nadeau makes it back into pit road, even though he was crabbing. Damon Cox absolutely hit Nadeau's car head on, so he's got a smoking engine and he's going to be in pit road for a very long time now. Meanwhile, back at the front, James Finn still there at the front, and Schmidt up to second now after making that outside line work.
Absolutely. So it's going to be something interesting to see. Who's going to restart where and who's going to work with who, or whom, as you English would say.
Hey.
Yes, the United States and the UK, two countries separated by a common language.
Very much so. And we're very proud of it, thank you.
And for those of you who are new to the Bofa Broadcasting Company, the other BBC, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And just remember that we are here for your entertainment. I personally might not be good for much, but I can be used as a bad example and comic relief. Yeah,
and you're pretty dab hand at commentary as well as lead commentator. I know We're both lead commentators in this. There's no co-commentator in this. We're both doing just as much as we do as... oh, I've lost my train of thought now.
Well, I do want to give a big shout out to David Worrell for subscribing. Thank you.
Yep.
Dizzy DC, thank you for subscribing. Tony Rice, Tyler Vickery.
Our teammate.
Yes, Tyler Vickery, good to see you joining the team. Tony Rice, who we're looking to bring on to our endurance team, possibly for Sebring.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I won't be there this year because of I'll be on vacation.
I told you, I just hire an Uber and pack your rig, bud.
Yeah.
But like, subscribe, and share, and don't forget to turn on the hit the little bell so that when we do have live broadcasts, whichever leagues we get to play with this coming season, you get the notification when we are going to be going live. We will be here for the entire 33 race season of the Go Fast Grand National Series. We are honored that Skylar and the boys asked us to do this. I know I speak for myself and Sam when we say that it is an honor to be here tonight broadcasting the first event of this season for y'all.
Most definitely. I mean, this was a very short notice thing. I mean, this week... well, I won't get into the finer details of things because there's a lot of private things behind the doors, but they were looking for a broadcaster. They got in contact with me 2 days ago, and yeah, here we are now, and we're broadcasting this whole season for you guys, for your own enjoyment, and yeah, we hope we can bring you the best entertainment possible, and we hope you enjoy it. That's the best. That's the only thing we hope, really. It's just that you enjoy it and keep subscribed and tuning in.
Well, it's kind of funny that I had the battery in my cell phone die, so I was kind of MIA for this past week, and I got the new battery this morning on the way into work. I turned my cell phone on to instant messenger, going, "What the hell did I just miss? Holy cow!"
Well, it's you usually doing the business side of things, and I thought, well, I'll try my hand at it, and then here we are. So I'm here.
Well, Sam, for what it's worth, I do thank you for picking up the ball for me, as I've just, real life has been kicking my ass as of late. Pardon my language, folks, but Sam has definitely done yeoman's work recently since he's gotten his new rig. His lights go out on the pace car. Looks like James Schmidt is going to take the inside line again on the restart.
I don't know. He hasn't. Yeah, he's definitely taking the inside line, as Schmidt is now forced to the outside again. Lejeune is going to be on the inside row with Finn. I'm thinking Lejeune's going to want to try and work with Schmidt again and get on that outside as soon as possible, which is going to leave Finn in a bad place because he's got nobody to work with now. Nado's had that wreck.
Not necessarily. Because Lejeune was getting the inside line to work earlier. I'm thinking it was a battle of necessity that put him to the outside on that last restart.
Yeah, we've got an ever-growing list of retirements right now. Martin Nadeau, well, people on pit road at least anyway. Martin Nadeau's on pit road. We've got Rick Mitchell on pit road. Michael Javarthan on pit road. Giles on pit road. Rigney, Puffenbarger, Aaron Fowler has retired.
Currently 16 cars still running.
Yeah, and we've got 12 cars on the lead lap, so still plenty of cars to in this thing. Stephen Parks, the last car on the lead lap, he was at the front for a good part, but now he's fallen back to the back of that lead pack as the cars make their way through the turn 4.
Here we go, about to go live one more time.
Get us started again, Tony.
And there it is, 35 laps to go, this time across the stripe. So far we're clean and green. A little bit of jockeying going on right there, as it looks like nobody's really in a hurry to help anybody else right now.
Sean Lejeune getting very squirrely going through turns 1 and 2. Still very squirrely, very struggling to hold a line behind James Finn, but he's still there with him, giving him that push. And yeah, everyone's 2 by 2 right now, apart from the rear of the pack. But yeah, very conservative right now, I want to say.
From what it looked like, Lejeune was trying to bleed off some speed. He was trying to get a run going down the back straightaway, and then realized that he had no hole because Jeff Schmidt was still there. He was trying to bleed off as much speed as he could, so when he got to the back bumper of James Finn, he didn't kill anybody. Good driving from Sean Lejeune right there.
As the outside line is now starting to lose momentum, and now the 45 is up into 3rd place. That's David Worrell. At the inside line, really getting it going this time round. As now Brian Littleton making himself known up into 4th place. The outside line really losing momentum up there.
Well, as you know, Jeff Schmidt drops down in front of Skylar Allen. You know, that right there, that leaves Wubker just out to dry. Wubker's got a damaged vehicle, so it's trying to throw a brick as a fastball. Not going to happen too well.
I was going in the cockpit of Jeff Wubker. Yeah, he's got so many cars on his inside. He's absolutely getting freight train now. There goes Adam Chapman on his inside. Got absolutely no help apart from one car. That would be Rick Mitchell Jr. in the 87, who's in 11th place. Looking at his cockpit.
And meanwhile, up in front, Littleton and Worrell trying to get that outside line to work again. Just not close enough to really help each other all that much yet.
As we've got a slow car on the apron, that will be the 47 of Damon Cox. I think he's trying to get up to speed, but that car is so badly damaged.
Yeah, he looks like he might be bringing that back pit side.
No, he's actually got it going again. He's just gone for the tri-oval. He's got... Oh, he's just been... Oh, that was very Spa-esque. We had Marion and Rigby going either side of him to get past him. And, yeah, that was very Schumacher and Hakkinen-esque at Spa. Meanwhile, back at the front, we've got the 60 being pushed by the 37 and the 61. So, again, that inside line really carrying that momentum, going through 3 and 4. And yeah, like you said at the restart, everyone being very patient so far, knowing that it's not really time to go yet, as Adam Chapman moves to the outside now.
Chapman on the outside line, trying to get something going. Has some help, but the problem is that inside line is just so strong right now that you need a whole bunch of cars. As Tyler Cox jumping up to the outside line, trying to get something to work. As we saw Cox running up towards the front earlier, if he can keep that car underneath him, he's got the help. The 31 trying to jump up as well. Looks like 37 and 61 are trying to figure out where they want to go. As the 37 now hung out to dry. The 61 throws him a dummy going into the 3-4 complex, jumps in behind the 60 as Lejeune gets the push from the 14. Give that lap to Lejeune. 15 thousandths of a second at the stripe.
And who'd have thought at the start of this race that Lejeune would actually lead a lap with 32 laps remaining after the terrible start he had, as the 61 gets it out of shape going on the backstretch, keeps it together, but he's going to lose a ton of momentum on that inside line as they're going 3 wide for the lead. The 14 making himself known. Can he make a stick in the middle? He's got Adam Chapman on his right behind him. Can he keep it stick as Lejeune is falling back now?
I think Lejeune may have caught a piece of the wall going into 3, going, oh crap, we're 3 wide and I'm on the outside, and this can only end poorly as they're coming up on lap traffic. The 5 finally got that engine refired.
Oh, as the 4 wide and the 5 goes into the wall, getting out of the way. They literally just forced their way through there.
Still 30 to go. We have not seen the money stop yet, as I'm hearing Steve Parks back on pit road. I thought I heard crunch, so I'm thinking Parks may have caught a little piece of something.
Stephen Parks.
They are getting chippy towards the front of this field already, and again, we have not seen the money stop.
Yeah, Tyler Cox moving his way back to the front again where he was before, with Adam Chapman pushing the living daylights out of him. James Finn is trying to make that inside line work again. The momentum has switched slightly. It's like a pendulum. Every lap it's like the outside line works one lap, the inside line works on another, and now the top four are actually breaking away from 5th place. That's the 96 of Skylar Allen Sr.
And for those of you who are into numerology, if you take a look at what's going on, you've got the 60 and the 61 on the inside line, and the 14 and the 15 working the outside line.
And they are catching lap traffic again. Both cars are on either side of the track, so this could end badly.
Yeah, especially considering the lap traffic's too wide in front of us.
As they finally go to the high side just before James Finn, our new leader, gets to them. Tyler Cox falling back to 3rd now. Jeff Schmidt is actually trying to make the outside line work. Oh no! No caution, they keep it going, but that moves Tyler Cox back to the front with Adam Chapman right behind him. Skylar Allen moves up to 3rd from all that. Oh my goodness me, James Finn, and I believe that was Jeff Schmidt getting into one. Yeah. A 60.
Littleton had a run coming off of 2, and Finn, I don't know what happened. It looked like he may have tried to go with him onto the high side, and just the spotter dropped the ball.
Yeah, Skylar Allen in the 96. Let's go to Skylar Allen there. Throwing a Hail Mary there, just getting up to 3rd place after one hell of a recovery drive back up there again. Sean Lejeune and Skylar Allen really throwing down the gauntlet now. Get back up the field. And Skylar must be thanking his lucky stars that that's happened. Is really in the catbird seat right now.
Oh, absolutely.
As you see,
you got Tyler Cox, Adam Chapman, Skylar Allen, Dylan Voss, and Rick Mitchell rounding out your top 5 as we are closing in on 25 to go.
Yeah, 27 laps remaining as here comes James Finn again on that outside line, and his favourable line, and he's actually got a lot of momentum on that outside line. He's actually
got a lot of momentum, but he was giving a lot of room coming through the 1-2 complex there. And he's going to need some help if he wants to hang with these guys.
Yeah, he's got Skylar Allen on his inside, and the 19 of Dylan Vos there too. He's got no help up there whatsoever, but he's used to that. He was like that earlier on in the race, so no difference there for James Finn. He's just got to recollect himself and try and get back up there if he can.
We are closing in on green flag stops too for some of these guys, as I'm looking through the field, and there's a good chunk of drivers that are north of 20 laps on their stint. So, we're looking between 25 and 28 laps of green flag action before these guys are gonna have to come in for a splash of fuel.
Yeah, as they put another lap on Rick Mitchell, who's now 12 laps down after being involved in so many incidents this evening. It's unreal. The 21 of Todd Cray, who's a lap down, he's up there with him. He's trying to fight for his lap back to Hardway.
He is, and he's showing why he is the defending Truck Series champion. Being able to hang with these guys, being able to get his lap back the hard way, currently showing back on the lead lap, trying to bring the 60 of James Finn with him.
And that would be very, very fortunate for Finn to get back up there as well, especially with the help of a lap down car as they get very squirrely going through, coming out of turn 2. Especially Adam Chapman, he did get very squirrely trying to push the 14 through that corner.
He did, but everybody was able to keep it pointed in the right direction and off the wall, so that's something that's good to see. Now, here's the fun fact, folks. We are within the striking window. You should be able to make it from here. So the question is, who's going to blink first? And I'm thinking it may have been the 5 just having a little bit of poo coming out, not realizing that everybody was coming as quickly as they were.
Yeah, that was the incident earlier, a few laps ago, where they all just came up and then very quickly they went 4 wide and they just ended up in the wall because, well
they just flashed by him again.
Yeah, he's got no speed in that car. As the 15 is not on the right side of that, number 14, as Todd Cray is back up at the front again, trying to get that lap back to Hardway, with the 60 of James Finn right behind him. James Finn is trying to use that draft to his own benefit so he can get back to the front himself. The 19 on the outside, Dylan Vose is with him now. So the 14 and the 15 on the inside on their own with Skylar Allen, more than 2 to 3 car lengths back.
You know, normally I'm not a restrictor plate racetrack fan, but this is some of the most interesting racing I have seen in iRacing in a long time.
Yes, they're all still together. Most of the lead lap drivers, that includes Todd Cray, who's right up there with the leaders, even though he's shown as a lap down, but he's fighting for his lap back. They're all still together. If you look back to Brian Littleton, he's got his own little drafting partner with the 45 of David Worrell. He's just sitting back there waiting for something to happen, and you know, Brian Littleton might actually be in a very ideal position, because if anything happens, he's in a prime position to make it through the wreck and get back up to the front again.
Again, you're not wrong. But we're closing in on 20 to go. Again, it's going to be who's going to blink first. You know, as far as who's going to bring it pit side to get the fuel, to get the tires. You know, who's going to try it under green and who's praying for a caution. Because what I'm looking at right now is Tyler Cox in the 14, 18 laps on his stint. James Finn in the 60, 26 laps on his stint. Adam Chapman, 18. Jeff Wubker, 26. Sean Lejeune, 26. Dylan Voss, 19. Skylar Allen, 27. Rick Mitchell, 26. So, you know, some of these guys are in better shape than others, and, you know, it's how far can you push it?
At the moment, they seem to be pushing it right to the limit as Todd Cray finally gets in front of leaders and gets back on the lead lap, but he's got more lap. They've got more lap traffic to come up to, and they're coming out of pit road by the looks of things. So they're very under speed as Marion and Rigby are on the inside. They're having to make their way on the outside. Finn, who just made his way onto that inside line, has been forced back up there again to get around him. So Marion and Rigby really being a bit stubborn there and staying on that inside line, making him go around the hard way.
Well, in real life, that's where they ask the lap cars to go, is stay low for the leaders. But yeah, no, I'm completely with you as far as it was kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. You know, you just merged onto the track and you really want to make a 3-lane change.
Yeah, and the biggest loser out of that was actually Skylar Allen, who got caught up behind I think it was Lee Rigney, and he lost a ton of momentum at that and is falling away from that lead pack now. He's about almost a second behind them now, and he's probably going to lose the draft if he's not careful. Same with Brian Littleton, he's fallen back as well. Got stuck behind Austin Marion.
And Adam Chapman in the 15 is blinking heavily. We just lost him for almost half a lap there. So something for race control to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, Tyler Cox using the draft of using the draft of Todd Cray to his advantage to try to save as much fuel as he can. Finn currently punching the hole for the outside line. 29 laps on his fuel stint right now.
That's an amazing amount of laps of fuel to be using up. As actually James Finn is actually tied with Austin Marion as the most laps led, with Tyler Cox actually with 12 laps led, so he's third in the laps led category. But he's back at the front again with Adam Tapman in second. James Finn falling back to third again. Dylan, they're all swapping places every single lap, so it's very hard to keep up with who's going forward and who's going backwards. There's the 5 again. There's on the apron, very slowly.
Right now, he's just trying to salvage as many points as he possibly can. Yeah, he could get past Mark Nadeau if he keeps doing this, but at what cost? You know, the old saying goes, you don't want to be that guy.
Not at all.
There's been a couple of times where he's almost been that guy.
Meanwhile, back at the front, we've got Tyler Cox still in that lead. They've all gone single file now. They've actually all spread, after passing all those lap cars, they've all actually spread out a bit now. I think a couple of cars have actually taken it down pit road.
Lejeune, Schmidt, Cray, Marion, Rigney, all going down pit road together, it looks like.
So it looks like green flag pit stops have already begun. Not
and
for the
those
leaders.
Guys needed to. They were north of 30 laps.
And here comes Finn, and I believe that's Rick Mitchell Jr. As Rick Mitchell Jr. goes for the grass, and that's going to give him a penalty.
Yep.
That's going to give him a black flag. Unsafe pit entry, unfortunately, for Mitchell Jr.
Littleton and Worrell also going down pit road.
Yeah, Skylar Allen all by himself. I think he's just been down pit road. So he's in a...
yes.
Yes. As at the front, we've got Tyler Cox, Adam Chapman, and Jeff Wubka. Still out on track, not pitted yet. If they just passed Sean Lejeune. Put another lap on him.
Wubker currently 32 laps on his stint, so he is in super saving mode.
And here he comes into pit road. He's making his way down pit road.
He kind of has to at this point. You know, 32 laps, coming in for 33rd lap. Whereas the two guys that are currently showing the way with Cox and Chapman, you know, they're only 25 laps into their stint. They can probably put a good majority of this field a lap down if they keep doing what they've been doing.
Oh, most definitely. As the top two are still very close together. The 14 and the 15 still not coming to pit road. Everybody else is pitted now. Brian Littleton has still got his drafted partner David Worrell right behind him. He's about to move up to third place by looks of things, because Jeff Wubka, he may be out of pit road, but he's definitely not up to speed yet. As Adam Chapman is now in pit road. Actually, the
Cox and Chapman have both come down pit road.
So this is going to be interesting. Keep an eye on Brian Littleton.
So far, they have not been popped for speeding, so that's a plus to keep an eye on. Littleton up to speed with Worrell as they're going through the 3-4 complex right now at speed.
As Tyler Cox.
And they've got drafting help in front of them.
As Tyler Cox wins the race off pit road, where is Brian Littleton? Making his way through the trioval by the looks of things.
They're going to catch these guys about the middle of the back straightaway if they do it right.
As the 14 and the 15 are both back up to speed now. I don't think Brian Littleton's going to do it. They're pretty much back up to speed, but they're going to be very, very close as here they are. All four of them.
20-second difference. Here we go, within striking distance.
And there they go on the outside. Brian Littleton takes your lead. He is your new leader. With David Worrell right
David Worrell with him into second.
Oh, yeah.
That was the money stop, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's worked in Brian Littleton's favour. I did say earlier that he was sitting back waiting for something to happen. Now it's happened. He's in the lead. And he's very much now the favourite to win this one, unless David Worrell has other ideas.
Well, the thing is, business has definitely picked up. You've got the 19 and the 96, who are your first cars a lap down in 9th and 10.
Yeah.
basically running blocker right now for Littleton and Worrell. And here comes the... Oh, man. Here comes Cox and Chapman again on the outside, just pushing the daylights out of each other.
Oh, this is going to get very exciting near the end, folks. Make sure you stay tuned in to the end. As you've already seen, we've had a few cautions already this during this race.
So the Overtake Motorsports teammates showing exactly what working as a team looks like.
Yeah, and when they actually got up to speed and they were actually drafted together, Brian Littleton actually had no answer for them. David Worrell has actually fallen back a bit from Littleton. So we've got the top 6 cars all together now. Any one of these top 6 could win it. Actually, no. I take that back. 2 of them are not on the lead lap, I don't think.
You're correct. The 19 and the 96 are both a lap down. So
I see that now,
basically, you're racing your top 4, then you're 8 seconds back to Rick Mitchell Jr.
Who didn't get popped.
5th.
Who amazingly didn't get popped for an unsafe pit entry.
He did not.
Amazing. That. Wow. iRacing being a bit lenient tonight.
Here's the thing. Your top 4 guys all only took right side tires and a can of fuel.
That should be enough to take them to the end, which is coming very close now. There are going to be 10 laps to go at the line. And at the moment, it's Tyler Cox who's in the lead with the 19 and the 96 fighting for the lap back the hard way. Tyler Cox is just going to let them go and run this to the end now.
That's pretty much all you can do is just, let those guys do what they're doing, and just try to keep everybody behind you. Which you got to wonder what kind of team orders are going on between Chapman and Cox as they're, the 2 Overtake teammates, Overtake Motorsports teammates, currently working together to be a fly on the wall in that team speak right now.
Oh yeah, most definitely. As they've just got to keep it on the black stuff and hope that the 80 and the 45 don't have any other ideas and try and force their way through again, which they're very right to do so. I mean, they're 10 to go with the gloves are off. It's time to put them on the dash and see who's a bigger. And at the moment, Tyler Cox is showing that they're definitely bigger than everybody else's. Rigney's in the wall.
Hang on to her.
Oh,
good grief! That almost ended poorly with Lee Rigney just eating the wall, trying to stay out of everybody's way.
Thankfully, he managed to bin it in the infield, so there won't be a caution.
Well, that's fine, but he almost took out the leader.
Yeah, that was close.
It was good save, Lee. Good save, bud. But oh wow. Inside 10 to go, everybody's just trying to scramble for everything that they can get at this point in time. So
there's our top 4 right there. The 14, the 15, the 80 and the 45. Looking back now to James Finn, he's in a pack of his own with he's got Cray right behind him, he's got Wubka with him, and he's also got Mitchell Jr. and they are actually closing in.
I was just going to say, he's closing in quite quickly. He's cut it down from over 8 seconds to just under 6, and he's gaining on them. And those guys are in a tight pack, in a tight line, and they're going for it. So, Katie, bar the door. If Finn can get back up to these guys, does he have enough time? That's the question.
We're 8 laps remaining. We're halfway through that lap, and now 7 laps to go at the line. I don't think he has. I mean,
well, he's gaining over. Let you know at the line. It looks like he's gaining about
a second a lap.
Just under a second a lap.
Good to see Cray holding on to the pack as well, despite being a lap down. I mean, he had to pit early, but he's still holding on to it. Oh, what could have been if he actually didn't get wrecked earlier on in the race, though?
You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong there. But it's going to be interesting because there's 7 to go. 7 to go.
7 to go.
And Finn has cut the lead down to 4.5 seconds.
Yeah,
that's to get to David Worrell. Getting to him is one thing. Getting by him is going to be something completely different, though.
Exactly. Meanwhile, back at the front, we have still got Tyler Cox in the lead with Chapman in second, Brian Littleton in third, and David Worrell in fourth. There they are. That is your top four. As Vose and Skylar Allen are getting away slowly but surely, but they're back on the lead lap regardless. If there's a caution now, they will definitely be on that lead lap, but if it goes to a caution now, unfortunately it won't go green again. So this is whatever happens now. If there's a caution come out now, the race will be over and Tyler Cox will be granted our winner, but that's not what we want to see, folks. We want to see this go green to the end and see if James Finn can actually make it up to the leaders. Is now just under 5 seconds behind them. I think that gap's slightly
4.5.
4.5. Oh, there's the interval. 4.7 seconds actually as the
Now here's the other point, the thing I'd like to point out. Under that last set of green flag stops, Finn took 4 tires.
Yeah, so the 4 tires over 2 is actually proving to be faster as the lead pack have now
not anymore. It's starting to equalize. He's worn all the goodie off his tires, and he's now maintaining it 5 seconds flat.
Yeah, as things just really picked up now, as Littleton has now got a look on the outside of Chapman after passing Vose and Vose and Allen, and now they're all side by side. The top 4 are there with 5 laps to go now, coming up to 4 laps to go. This is going to get interesting as we get into the very last dregs of this race, with Brian Littleton given that lap as they cross the line. This is going to get interesting as we get to the very end of this race. Tony, I hope you're gripping your wheel because this is going to be white knuckle time.
What wheel? I just ripped the arms off my chair.
As Brian Littleton...
I'm not kidding, folks. The chair that I have at my desk, I ripped the arm.
As Brian
was white knuckling so badly.
Brian Littleton and David Worrell have taken the lead now. Brian Littleton's first, Worrell second, and they're about 2 car lengths ahead of Tyler Cox. I'm wondering if Cox and Chapman have actually used up the goodie off their tyres as well, because they don't seem to be able to challenge at all.
Still plenty of time left. They're trying to time their runs from what it looks like. And they were working on that earlier, I noticed. But they've got the lap traffic coming up on them. Lee Rigney on the high side there in the 84. Looks like they're going to be able to clear him without much trouble.
Oh, this is going to get interesting. Those lap cars still staying on the inside. That would be Vose and Allen behind the lead pack. They're staying in the draft.
Here it comes, though. The 14 and the 15 are looking to time their runs. It'll be 2 to go this time across the stripe. Littleton and Worrell, your lead 2. Then you've got Cox and Chapman sitting in 3rd and 4th. Watch for some last lap heroics to see what's going to happen here.
Almost definitely.
Still anybody's game.
As they make their way onto the backstretch, they're catching up to Lejeune by the looks of things. And maybe they're going to use this draft to maybe get some speed up. Eventually that'll be Brian Littleton and David Worrell, I mean. But yeah, Tyler Cox is right there on their tail now. It's coming up to the white flag. They're going through the 3-4 complex. Get ready, guys. This is going to be one last lap to remember. And remember, this is only the first race of the season. If you enjoy this racing, stay subscribed, stay tuned in, because we've got a whole season of this racing. And it's about to go down now as we hit the white flag. 1 lap to go. It's all to play for. The top 4 are right there as they make their way into the 1-2 complex.
And Littleton timed it just right. He was able to use the lap car as a pick. The 14 kind of had to, time the run just wrong, as Lejeune was almost freight trained. Here we go, 14 and 15. That's Chapman and Cox. Cox with a nose out front as they go into 3. Chapman pushing the daylights out of him on the high side. Side by side.
Oh, there's a bit of a nudge there from the 80. He wants that win. They come through 3 and 4. Oh, there's a big spin. And that's going to give the win to Worrell.
He's going to win it.
Worrell's going to win. David Worrell, your winner at Daytona. What a finish!
Been able to hang on for second. Tyler Cox backwards over the line for third.
Actually, that's given second place to Tyler Cox.
No, I'm showing Adam Chapman.
Either way, but David Worrell managed to get through all of that and picks up the win at Daytona, the first race of the season in the Go Fast Racing League Grand National Series. Your winner at Daytona, David Worrell in the 45. And Tony?
And the bad news is he's not in TeamSpeak.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But Brian is.
Wow, what a finish. I'm just trying to catch my breath from all that. Do you want to grab Chapman and see what his thoughts are? Or Cox,
yeah.
whichever.
Well, let's start with the one who's going to probably be the least pissed off of the two.
Who's Carson?
So, the least pissed off of the two, Adam Chapman, joining us now. We just saw the finish. Your Team Overtake Motorsports teammate getting turned there as you guys were battling for the lead. Walk us through what you saw.
Man, to be honest, I don't think it's words of what I can say on here. I don't want to say what I think I saw. I thought we was all four racing really clean until coming out of four. I mean, it is what it is. I guess it's Daytona.
Was it more you closed your eyes and some poop came out?
That's probably a good word for it, to be honest.
There you go. But, so, second place points to start the season. Not a bad way to start the Grand National season right now. Talk us through how you think the race went other than, leading up to the last lap.
To be honest, it was a little hectic at the start. I expected it to be a little bit more green flag racing. I wanted it to be a little bit more green flag racing. I got in trouble early on in the race with a lot of damage on the back end, but it worked out. Like I said, I expected it to be a little bit better. I'm sure to get cleaned up. These guys are really good in here. They know what they're doing. So, I can't thank my teammate enough, to be completely honest. If it wasn't for the team and the spotter that we had, there's no way I'd even be inside the top 5, to be completely honest.
Well, Adam, for what it's worth, it was definitely an exciting run to watch you guys work together, get the entire field almost a lap down, and then be able to make that masterful green flag pit stop that showing what a team can do when they're well choreographed like that.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of work. I actually hate restrictor plate racing. I think it's the most boring race ever to race and watch and all that stuff. So I hope everybody that watched it, enjoyed it. But I'll be completely honest, I'm ready to move on. I hate this place, and I hate Daytona or Talladega, so I'm ready for a real track, I guess.
From a driver's standpoint, I can understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
From a broadcaster standpoint, you guys put on one hell of a show tonight.
Yeah,
sir.
you really did.
Yeah, it was work. I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for teammates and the spotters and the pit strategy, and honestly working with Tyler Cox, Overtake teammates, they all do a great job, so that's for sure.
Absolutely. So, my gray matter is a little bit scrambled right now from what I just saw. I have no idea what the schedule looks like next week.
I believe it's Atlanta. I believe it's Atlanta, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I believe you're right. So, from one of the now slowest big tracks on the Speedway to the track that holds the distinction of being the fastest track on the schedule. Walk us through what you're looking for next week at Atlanta.
I love it. Mile and a Half's my favorite track. To be honest, I don't know how I'm going to do. I mean, so many guys are in here. Tyler is probably, him and a couple other guys in here is going to be one of the favorites, I think, to win the championship. And I'm already thinking about the championship already, or trying to make the chase, should I say. But, going to that type of track and as fast as it is, I think it's all about saving tires because I expect a long green flag runs during it. It's different, but I really like it. I like the challenge of it. It's going to be very fun, to try to get at least inside the top 5 or even the top 10. And I'll be happy with it. I'm just out here to have fun, and Skyler and all them do a great job. So I'm really looking forward to next week.
Well, again, Adam, thank you for putting on a great show tonight, and we're going to send you back up into your team room. Do me a favor, if Tyler, talk to Tyler, ask him if he's calm enough for us to interview.
Yeah.
If so, have him jump into the waiting room for us, and we'll talk to him next.
Yeah, for sure, guys. Also, I want to give a shout-out to you guys for stepping up. I know it's more of a last-minute thing for you all. I broadcast myself on Friday or Thursdays for these guys, and I know that it's very early on one of your guys' parts, or late, I guess you could say. So I want to give a shout-out to you all. I know it's a lot of work. So
it's Saturday for Sam.
There you go.
Saturday for me.
Yeah. So I know it's a lot of work for you, Sam. So really, man, I do appreciate it. That means a lot for, I know Skylar, it means a lot for him as well.
Well, it's Saturday for Sam, and I work my 9 to 5 until 8 p.m. on Friday night. So.
Oh, yeah. So you know, yeah. So you're in the same boat. So yeah, thank you both very much. I know, it was a last minute thing that he put together, and thank you all for stepping up. That means a lot.
Well, it's an honor for us to be here, and thank you all for having us, and thank you for putting on one hell of a show tonight.
For sure, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Right.
There he is. Tyler Cox is in the waiting room. Do you want to bring him up?
I can do that. So, joining us now, Tyler Cox. Tyler, it was one of the most spectacular finishes I've ever seen at Daytona. Talk us, if you can do it without using too many expletives, because I don't have a bleep button ready.
Yeah.
Talk
Don't
us
worry,
through your thoughts on, because you guys had a hell of a run going as far as that last set of green flag stops.
Oh, absolutely. It was great to have Adam there behind me. I knew I had some damage, and so did he. And, we just stuck together. The run would have worked off 4. The 8 apologized for coming up, which no big deal. It's part of racing. I wasn't even sure if I was actually going to make the race. I just got a brand new sim rig today, and 2 hours before the race, I was still putting it together. So I was unsure, and I ended up getting it together just before the race. But yeah, it was a good race. So
that's a hell of a way to break in a new rig.
Yeah.
So, but talk us through that last stop. We were wondering if you guys only took right sides in a can of fuel on that last stop.
Nope, we just took fuel only. We took 5.1 gallons in fuel only and went for it. We knew that most guys would probably take at least 2 tires, and they'd have at least a second and a half to 2 seconds slower stop than us. And me and Adam had pitted for tires on the last caution, so we knew we were good to go. I think it was like 7 to 10 laps is what we went on that last run. So we knew we were all set on tires. So we just pitted for fuel only and tried to get out as far as out front as we could. And we picked up the other 2, David and Rick, and it was great racing with those guys. And, I'm just super excited to come home away with a 3rd place tonight. I mean, that's, of course, I'd like to win, but 3rd is definitely a great start to the season.
The 3rd is a great start to the season, and we're moving on to what I'm being told is one of your favorite tracks next week at Hotlanta.
Yes. As long as it's hot. I like slick tracks. I like where I can throw the car in there and manipulate the chassis and make it do what I want to do while other guys are struggling. It gives me the thrill. So any track that's hot and slick is a track that I enjoy to race on.
Then you need to come up to Central New York, where I'm from, and come play in the dirt with us.
Oh boy. I'm out from Maine in Oxford Plains, so I'm not sure if you know where that is.
I do. As a matter of fact, I used to work with a late model team out of Georgetown, Massachusetts, so I know exactly where you're talking.
There we go.
See, you're both in the Northeast, so it should work out. Nicely.
The tracks here in Central New York, by the time we get the tracks usually open in April, and by the time we get to June, the tracks are dry slick by the time the features start.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But congratulations on the podium. I'm sure you would have liked to have had a couple better spots to finish in, but that was a spectacular finish, coming across the finish line backwards like you did.
It was, absolutely. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So we will let you get back up into your TeamSpeak channel with the rest of your team. Congratulations to you and all of Overtake Motorsports for bringing home 2 of the podium spots.
You guys mind
tonight.
if I thank a couple people real quick?
Absolutely. Go ahead, sir.
All right. Most of all, thank you guys for broadcasting. I know Adam does his thing, and I know I've broadcasted with him a few times, and it's super fun, but I want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to broadcast. Also, I'd like to thank, I have a sponsor for this season, Big Dog Concrete out of Oxford, Maine. If you guys need any concrete work and you're from the Northeast, the phone number is on the back of my truck, or you can send me a message on iRacing, and I'm just happy they hopped on board. Also, the guys from Overtake, so yeah.
That would explain the message that we got in the live stream chat.
Yeah.
Probably.
Nothing wrong with a bit of a shameless plug in this channel. Don't worry.
Absolutely, we are all about the shameless plug.
Alrighty.
But congratulations again, and we will look forward to seeing you next week at Hotlanta.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, that's the interviews out of the way. I've just spoken to Skylar, and David Worrell will not be coming on TeamSpeak, so we won't be able to interview our winner.
Fair enough.
Let's now the interviews are out of the way. Let's go through our final finishing order.
So you had David Worrell coming home with the victory. Adam Chapman holding on for second. Tyler Cox able to spin it across the line for third. Rick Mitchell Jr. coming home in fifth.
Fourth.
Rick Mitchell for fourth. James Finn holding on for fifth. Jeff Wubker holding on for sixth. Brian Littleton coming home in seventh after the melee that we saw there. That was the last car on the lead lap. Sean Lejeune 1 lap down in 8th. Dylan Voss in 9th. And Todd Cray, your defending Truck Series champion, the last car 1 lap down, coming home in 10th.
Yeah, and in 11th place we had Skylar Allen. In the end, he was actually 2 laps down in the end, which was unfortunate. 12th place was Jeff Smith. 13th was Austin Marion, our earlier leader. Lee Rigney, after a few scary moments at the end, came home in 14th. 15th place was Damon Cox. 16th was Michael Trevathan. 17th was Stephen Parks. 18th was Rick Mitchell. 19th was Timothy Giles. And 20th was John Ronaldo.
With Mark Nadeau, Jeremy Rigney, and Brandon Puffenbarger. Last cars still running at the end of the event. Aaron Fowler bowing out early, and Eric Minch not taking the green. So joining us now, league admin Skylar Allen. Skylar, I have to say that normally I'm not a restrictor plate fan, and I actually did say this to Sam during the broadcast, but that was some of the most exciting racing I have ever seen at the Daytona International Speedway.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was fun. A little more caution-y than we'd like to see it be, but I got a group of, there's 73 drivers that are registered for the league, and that's 73 drivers who don't really know one another, and we're all learning, kind of figuring out what each other does. So maybe by the time we come back here in July, we'll be a little bit better off. But overall, good first week. Just trying to get everything, get everybody firing on all cylinders. It'll take a little bit of time, but just kind of a frustrating run for myself.
Well, if that's not people firing on all cylinders, I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming in the rest of the series.
We're definitely looking forward to next week at Atlanta. Wondering what's gonna take place at arguably one of the fastest tracks, where I believe the lap average speed is north of 200 miles an hour, which in the modern era is something unheard of for the big cars, anyways. As far as the B cars go, we're still looking, high 190s around that place. It's
gonna be crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, cannot thank you guys enough for having us. Be able to bring the action of the Go Fast Grand National Series to the masses. Definitely looking forward to the remaining 32 races in the series. Any surprises that we can look forward to coming up here, or any little quirks that you guys are planning on doing that somebody might not see in a real life B-class race?
Not really right now, man. We're just trucking along for this year, and like I said, it's our second race of the year, so our first race of the year, second season. We'll get it out right. Just trying to get things sorted, get figured out what we're gonna kind of what direction we want to see everything flow, and kind of go from there. So, man, fantastic job. I reached over under one of the cautions and brought the broadcast up. I had to listen. You guys brought a lot of passion and energy to it tonight. It was a fantastic job. As you can see, we've got a few bugs to get worked out here and there on all sides of it. So we'll get it all worked out, and we'll be ready to go for Atlanta.
Well, sorry. Go on, Tony.
Yeah, I was going to say, for what it's worth, as far as the tin top broadcasts that we've done in the past, this was actually one of the most exciting restrictor plate, full fender stock car races that Sam and I have had the honor to do.
Yeah, and we've definitely had fun up here in the booth. We've not had this much of a good time in a long time. So, yeah, thank you for having us along, Skylar, and we look forward to working with you for the rest of the season.
I appreciate that, man. We're definitely looking forward to the rest of the season as well.
All right. Well, Sam, I think that's going to about do it for tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. This has been a fantastic presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. 80 laps here at Daytona International Speedway. Brought
Race
to you by
1 in the books.
Yeah, most definitely. And both are broadcasting, starting a new partnership with Go Fast Racing with their Grand National Series. That's going to do it for tonight. Myself, Sam Cooper. Go ahead, Tony.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Turn on notifications so you know exactly when we're going live.
And we'll catch you next week. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett. Joining me in the booth was Tony Trapasso. And also in the booth with me is league owner Skylar Allen. We will see you next week at the Atlanta Speedway. Have a good night.